Every professional Python application, whether it's a game, AI system, banking app, web app, uses one powerful concept called object-oriented programming, also known as OOP. Without OOP, large applications become messy, repetitive, and impossible to manage. In this video, you will learn Python OOP from beginner to advanced level with step-by-step explanation of every line of code. By the end of this tutorial, you will understand classes, objects, inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, and much more. So let's begin. So the question is, what is OOP? OOP stands for Object-Oriented Programming. It is a programming style where we organize code using classes, objects, properties, and methods. Instead of thinking only about functions, we think about real-world objects. For example, car, student, bank account, user, employee. And now the question is, what is a class? Well, a class is basically a blueprint for creating an object. Let me create a class first and then I'll explain. So for example, class, and we will name a class student, and then we'll simply say pass. Now here basically class is a keyword for creating a class, and student is the name of the class, and pass means empty block for now. And what is an object? An object is an instance of a class. For example, let me create an object. S1 is equals to student round bracket, and let me print that object. So here this student basically creates an object, and this S1 stores that object. There is also a special function in Python, and that is called constructor, and it runs automatically when an object is created. Let me create that function. So to create a function, we simply use keyword def and underscore init. That is built-in function. And let's remove the self and let's provide some parameters. Let name, and let's say age, and we will not pass, and we'll simply use self dot name equals to name, and self dot age is equals to age. So here init is basically a special constructor method, and self basically means refer to current object, and name and age are basically parameters. And here self dot name basically stores values inside the object, and self.age basically stores age inside the object. Now how can we pass values through these parameters and store them in these objects? We first have to create an object, and then in the parentheses of that object we have to pass these values. So for example, we already have an object and we want to pass the values. Let's say name is Peter and the age of the Peter is 30. That's it. Now if we want to access these values, we can simply use the period s1 dot name, and we want to print age s1 dot age, and let's execute the code, and we got the values Peter and 30. So Peter basically goes from here to here, and 30 from this parameter to this, and these are basically stored in these objects. Now let's create a method inside a class. So methods are functions inside a class. Let's create a method, a def, and let's say greet, and let's say self, and we'll simply print hello, and this will be self dot name. This is a function. Now how can we call a function? We can simply do that by, let's say, we'll simply use object name as dot and greet. Now let's execute the code, and we will get a name hello Peter. We can also create multiple objects to store separate data. For example, let's say I want to create another object, s2 is equals to student, and inside a student I want to pass another value, different values, and this time it is John, and John is 40 years old. Now for example, if I want to call the greet function, this time with the second object st dot greet, and let's execute the code. So this time it will be hello John. Now there are two types of variables in Python. The one is instance variable, and second one is class variable. So here class and name and age are basically instance variables because they store separately for each object. Here whenever I create a new object, it stores separate data for each object and they are stored separately. But for class variables, for example, let me create a variable wheel is equals to 4. This basically is shared by all the objects and same value for every instance. And you can access the class variables in the same way. For example, let's say here we have s1 dot wheels, s1 dot wheels, and if you want to print it, print, and let's execute the code, and the wheels have 4. And now comes the encapsulation, one of the 4 pillars of the object-oriented programming. And encapsulation means hiding internal details. And let me explain by an example. I will simply create a class and name it bank. And inside the bank, I will create a constructor def init, and let's say self dot. So to declare a private variable, we simply have to use double underscore and name of the variable. And let's say balance is equals to 1000. It is initialized to 1000. So now this balance is basically a private variable and it cannot be accessed directly outside the class. But we can access private data using methods. Let me create a method and let me name it def, and let's say show balance, and let's say self, and then colon, and inside function we will simply say print self dot underscore balance, and that's it. Now let's access the data. We can access the data using creator. So first we have to create an object. Let's say s50, and we will name it bank. And now we have an object. Now to access the show balance function, we simply have to use s50 object and then show balance, and let's execute the code, and we got 1000 value. And now comes the second pillar of the object-oriented programming, and that is inheritance. So inheritance allows one class to use features of another class. Now I will create 2 classes. The one will be parent class and the second one will be a child class. Let's say animal, and let's say def. We'll simply create a function or method and self, and let's say print animal speaks. Now I will create a child class and name it dog. And to inherit a parent class, we'll simply use the name of the class in the parenthesis, and that is, let's say, animal. So now we have inherited a parent class in the child class, and we will simply say pass, and that's it. So dog now inherits from the animal and gets all methods automatically. And we can use the inherited methods using or by creating an object. Let's say d is equals to dog, and let's say d dot speak, and let's execute the code, and we'll get animal speaks. So now whenever you call the speak function using the dog object, this will print this function that is present in the parent class. But for some reason you want to create another function inside a dog class with the same name, you can do that using method overriding, where child class replaces parent method. Now for example, let me remove the pass and I will create a function with the same name, that is speak and self, and let's say print and dog barks. Now let's execute the code and we will get a bark function. And there is also a built-in function inside of Python, and that is super function that we can use inside a function of a child class, and we can still print this function of the parent class. For example, in this example, when I execute the code, the bark is printed. But if I want to print the parent class function, I will simply use a super function dot, and the function that is present in the parent class, and that is speak. Now let's execute the code, and animal speak will be printed, and then after that bark is also printed. And the third important pillar of the object-oriented programming is polymorphism. So polymorphism means one method behaves differently. Now let me create two different classes with the same function name but different functionalities. Let's say class cat, and let me define a function that is, let's say, sound self, and the functionality of this function is meow. And let me create another class, and that is dog, and here we will name the function same as above, sound self, and this time the dog will bark. Now let's call both of the functions. Let me create a list that is cat, and then another one is dog. Now let's make a for loop for a in animal, a dot sound. Now let's execute the code, and we will get two different functionalities. And the first one is meow, and the second one is bark. And the last one is abstraction. So abstraction means hiding implementation details, where we create two different classes. The one is parent class and second one is child class. So in the parent class, we only define functions and the implementation is done in the child class. For example, let me explain it by an example. So first we have to import abstraction abc, import abc, and then abstract methods. Now let's create a class that will be a parent class shape and abc, and now let's say at the rate abstract method, and let's define a function, define area self, and just pass. Now the implementation is done in the child class. So for that we have to create a child class, and let's say class, and the shape, for example, this time it will be a square shape, and then we will inherit a parent class, and then we will define a function area self, and we will print area calculated. That's it. Now let's code a real example of a student management system where marks and name of the student will be entered and grades will be showed. So for example, let me create a class with the name student, and let's create an instructor def in it, and in the parameter we will define name and marks. Name and marks. Here we will simply say self dot name equals to name, and self dot marks equals to marks marks, and we will create another function that is to show name and marks, show self, simply say print name is self dot name, and print marks self dot marks. and we will create another function def, and that is grade, calculate grade. So we will use if else, if self dot marks or greater than equal to 80, we will return a grade. If self dot marks are greater than equals to 60, we will return grade B. Else we will print or return C. Now let's create an object. F1 equals to student, and in the parameter we will pass name. So the name is Peter and marks are, for example, let's say 85. Now F1 dot show function, we'll call a show function, and let's say print also grades. S1 dot grade. Now let's execute the code and see the magic. And we got name Peter, marks 85, and grade is A. So finally, in this video, we have learned what OOP is: classes and objects, constructors, methods, self-keyword inheritance, encapsulation, polymorphism, abstraction, static and class methods, real-world examples. Mastering OOP is one of the biggest steps toward becoming a professional Python developer. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, and keep learning Python with me.